Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphan Last, aka Skylar Madison, and today I have a video all about you. But first, it's also a little bit about gratitude. I'd like to say thank you for all of you that have subscribed to me. I've reached 5,500 subscribers. This is awesome. Now, normally with one of these videos, I look over the analytics to my channel. I talk about life as a YouTuber, trying to, climb the ladder. And then, I talk about some videos that I've made, the ones that are successful and the ones that I'm proud of that maybe should get a little bit more traffic. And then I pretty much wrap up the video and call it good. But this time around, I've tried multiple times trying to make that video again, and I just feel bored because I'm making the same video over and over and over again. And this is about you, not me, at this point. Now that I've reached 5,500 subscribers, it feels. And so that brings me to my Discord server, which is, if I go into the Share Your Work section, I've actually scrolled up to the very top. There is actually a lot of content inside of this Share Your Work channel on my Discord server. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Discord, basically all you need to do is go onto my YouTube channel, and actually right here with the channel trailer, you can see right here it says if you'd like to join my Discord server, it's here. You can just go ahead and click that, and that'll bring you to, if you don't have a Discord server, it'll bring you to all the options to create a Discord profile, and after it's been downloaded and such like that, either on your phone or on your computer, you can go ahead and have access to my Discord server. You can also join all sorts of different types of communities. For example, Dr. Ryan, he's another guy that has a YouTube channel. He subscribed to me, and he's got his own Discord server. Darren T, he's got his own Discord server, and the list goes on. OpenTunes Discord servers and such like that. So those are some shout outs. Dr. Ryan, Darren T. Anyhow, let's get into this, okay? Let's actually look at the Share Your Work channel on my Discord servers. Now, you can see that at first people were using this as the self-promotion page, and that's fine. I want to make that clear. If you've made content, it's fine for you to share your content. Like if it's a video, cool, go ahead, share it. I don't care. The thing is, as far as I'm concerned right now, at this point in time, I don't see there being any point in time where I'm going to have a self-promotion channel on my Discord server. And the reason for that is just simply because that's the dumpster fire of every Discord server. Like, no one looks at the self-promotion channel on a Discord server. They go there to link post something and then they leave. There's never any real investment in it. And as long as people are able to self-promote in a location where people can have a conversation, I think that's a better way to do it. And you can see Darren T, he's gone ahead and posted some videos here, and that's fine. He can do that. I have no problem with that, and other people can go ahead and do the same thing. Now, the first image that you guys, the audience, produced that really grabbed my attention was actually this image right here, and it's made by Killer Meme. Killer Meme drew this image right here. And let me go ahead and actually pop this image into Clip Studio Paint, okay? So we have this here. Now, this is an interesting image, and I love this image. I want to make that clear. There's definitely some things about it that look like, hey, yeah, this is somebody who's still got a ways to go, but I look at it and I see greatness is what I see. I see a lot of potential in this image. The background could have a hell of a lot more going on with it, but overall, I understand this pink or purple dude is pushing this woman somehow with telekinesis or something. Now, there's a lot of experienced artists that would look at this image and say,
it is illustrated incorrectly.
And let me show you what I mean. Let me go ahead and throw in a 3D model and demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've posed up this 3D model a little bit like what's inside of the character that currently exists. Now, like for most artists out there, let me go into the settings and change the light source. How about that? Okay, yeah, most people, when they look at this image, they would say she needs to be more like this, okay? Because that's the way that you would correctly illustrate this image if it was linear perspective. So this is something that a lot of new artists struggle with. They struggle with visualizing a camera movement instead of a camera angle. And it's okay if you visualize either or. If you're visualizing a camera angle, then it's more usually often a linear perspective drawing, which would look like this 3D model in this composition, okay? But if it's curvilinear perspective, it's going to be more like what Killer Meme illustrated right here, where you got a profile view of this character being thrown by this pink or purplish looking dude. So you can see as I continue on, I have quite a bit to say about the image. And as time develops, I start sharing images that I've shared on my channel, trying to get Killer Meme to understand what curvilinear perspective is. And I continue on more and further, and what I wind up with is this image right here. This right here shows exactly how this image can be considered to be illustrated correctly. This is how you can salvage that image. And rather than telling Killer Meme, you're wrong, you drew this image incorrectly, because the character doesn't look like this 3D model here being thrown at the camera, rather than doing that, I'm trying to show this is how you can make that work. Okay? And so, in a lot of ways, this Discord server, this you know, the Share Your Work channel, the Works in Progress channel inside of my Discord server, it's like having an art book where you are actually able to interact with the author. That's the closest thing that I can really relate it to. And, you know, you can actually go all the way to the top of these specific sections and read all the way through and wind up with quite a bit of educational content. Here's another image made by Killer Meme. I think it's rather good. Can you guess who it's supposed to be? Personally speaking, I felt like I instantly knew who it was, which is Morgan Freeman. And that's right on the money. It's Morgan Freeman. I feel like it's fairly well illustrated. The colors, they seem to be more like painting flats. There's a lot of comic books out there that actually only paint flats, that don't put in any gradients, shadows, or highlights. And so this is acceptable. It's just, you know, it would have been interesting to see more shadows, highlights, gradients, and such like that. And I fully appreciate this piece of work. This is great. You're working with a reference in this particular image. This is excellent. Keep on trucking. Keep on going. Here's another image made by Killer Meme. And, you know, you can notice that, you know, I like this image. I like the colors that have been selected. I generally like the composition. You know, it could be executed a little bit better. But the thing is that that's kind of the point of my, you know, my channel and my Discord server, to help you guys see where you can improve. And you'll notice this, you know, the bridge. She's standing next to a bridge. And this is actually what him asking me how to draw a bridge in perspective is what got me to actually have several videos inside of the Teach Me to Draw series that was specifically on how to draw a bridge from multiple different camera angles. And I specifically chose a specific design for the bridge that was more of an Asian sort of architecture. And the reason being was because of this image, because I was trying to specifically help Killer Meme kind of understand what's going on when you're drawing in perspective. And so, yeah. That's that. Now, here is an image made by Artsy Cosmic Dreamer. Now, this is the same artist where, like, if I go onto my YouTube channel and type in Critique and Redraw, I have Critique and Redraw Part 1 and Critique and Redraw Part 2. Okay, this is where I critiqued Artsy Cosmic Dreamer's artwork, and then I went ahead and redrew her picture the way that I specifically would approach it. And I actually describe every single line that I draw as I'm drawing it, the logic behind it. So Artsy Cosmic Dreamer later on illustrated this image, and I think she is on the right track for where she's at. You know, I applaud her efforts. If artwork is like singing, if you have a song that you have to sing, that you need to get out of your system, then do it. And the same thing with illustration. If you have an image in your head that you need to get out, go ahead and do it at whatever skill level you're at, regardless of whatever sort of struggles that you happen to need to, you know, to deal with every single day. I applaud that, and I hope Artsy Cosmic Dreamer continues with her artistic endeavors, continues to find artwork to be something that's rewarding and all that good stuff. I like this image. I like how there's like overlapping arches with the teeth. That's kind of fun. The overlapping arches with this stuff, I don't know if they're blades of grass or if they're trees. If they're trees, those are some tiny trees next to this flower character. Or who knows, maybe this flower character is enormous. I don't know. But the overlapping arches here are a little bit scraggly. It would be nice to see, you know, the line work get a little bit cleaner. But other than that, I think it looks really good. I like the use of gradients. I know that she was experimenting with some painterly style type of markers for this image, or at least I think she was. Yeah, the colors are really vibrant, really entertaining to look at, and you know, it's a little sunflower-looking creature that's super happy, almost to the point to where it looks almost creepy, but it's enjoyable. I enjoy looking at this image. It's fun. The use of gradients are fun. Great job. You did a great job. Now, really quick here, I know this video is more so about your guys' artwork, but every once in a while, I do share some of my artwork on my Discord server. And this is an image from my my sketchbook, and I have also pinned messages on my Discord server. So if you go up here to pinned messages, you can see where I've pinned some of my artwork to make it easier to be more accessible to you guys, so that you guys can download some of my artwork. Not only that, but sometimes someone like Art with Omar, sometimes he goes ahead and shares an asset here or there, or he shares like some sort of resource that's interesting, or just generally, sometimes people share something that should be pinned, and so I pin it so that other people at any point in time can instantly find that information and download it or look at it or whatever it may be, okay? Hey You in Tampa is an interesting artist. Now, one of the things that we discuss later on is how he has difficulty visualizing more so like figure drawing and such like that. This is him. Like, you can see he's got an understanding of anatomy, but the figure drawing, the part of anatomy that he doesn't really understand, at least from what I can see in this image, is anatomy as it pertains to the bones and the positioning of the thumb. It's something that I've repeated over and over again on my channel, and I know I've repeated this over and over again, is that the muscles on your forearm and all throughout your entire arm will actually be pointed a completely different direction depending on where your thumb is. The radius and ulna changes how the muscles will wrap around your arm, and you know, I look at this and I see good anatomy in general. I see good craftsmanship, and I would always recommend Hey You in Tampa to continue, because I do see quite a bit of potential here. Really quick here, Cyan Loss, he entered into the Out Buddies competition that I did forever ago. Feels like it's forever ago, but let's see, when did he post this? Okay, so this was November 26th-ish, 2019. So this was a while ago. Now, there's a funny story about this image. Now, I picked up a commission from the developer who made the video game Out Buddies, which is an actually really good video game. I would highly recommend it for anybody who's interested in supporting an independent developer that enjoys something like Metroid. Now, I drew the cover art for Out Buddies on Steam, and my artwork was actually right there, front and center on Steam. You can still find my artwork on Steam, but what happened was I made an art competition, and the whole point of the art competition was to try to show you guys off. It was kind of like what this video is. It's all about you guys. And so this competition actually let the developer know that Cyan Loss exists, and he enjoyed this artwork so much that later on down the road, Cyan Loss's artwork right here that you see right here wound up becoming the cover art on Steam for Out Buddies. You can still find my artwork there. It's still seen as being official artwork for Out Buddies, but you know, this is the official image for Out Buddies. Like, the prize for the Out Buddies competition was just a copy of the game, but really, honestly, Cyan Loss won the competition. He beat me in my own competition. He's now front and center on Steam, and you know, that's what the art competition was all about to begin with. If somebody else could deliver something that the developer felt was something that he wanted that would grab people's attention, then I still have no problem with that. Like, I love finding opportunities for myself, and if there's a way for me to find opportunities for you guys, I have no problem with that either. Enzio San, he's a really good artist. Now, this is kind of an image that I don't think he ever finished, but I look at this picture, like, I look at it, and it's like, whoa. that is impressive. Like, you can actually see the figure drawing underneath the armor. It's a very well thought out image, very well crafted, and nothing but admiration on my side. So yeah, it's awesome. I love Enzio-san's artwork. Very, very talented artist. Once again, this is another image by Cyan Loss, and this image actually went through quite a bit of different iterations. It has evolved since this image was posted, but this was just at least one version of the image as he was moving along. I remember offering some sort of constructive critique, and he agreed with it. I forgot what that critique was, but I still look at this earlier version of the image, and I can't help but appreciate it. This was around Christmas time. Evidently, this is based off of some anime or manga or something like that. I'm not familiar with the characters or anything, but the craftsmanship is just amazing. The use of color is just excellent. Yeah, great work, Cyan Lost. Just like always, it's always excellent work coming from you. Okay, somebody that I mentioned earlier, Dr. Ryan, he's the guy that has his own YouTube channel. He illustrated an image, and I love this image because it demonstrates something that's very, very important that I wish that society would understand. In today's world, it seems like you walk out the door, you meet up with everybody out in the world, and everyone seems to feel like we have some sort of observational skills that we didn't have in the past, that we're somehow more enlightened, that we're more wise, and just our observational skills are just far superior than they once were. But if that were true, our earlier attempts at illustration should rival the sorts of, cave drawings that we've seen from cavemen, okay? And this right here is every bit as well crafted as some of those cavemen drawings, and that's not a criticism. There's some interesting gradients. There's at least some sort of understanding of anatomy in those caveman drawings, and there is some fairly accurate understanding of, okay, there's a face here, there's another face here, and it's going this direction. There's some foreshortening going on, but somewhere along the lines where the edge of this bed comes in, all of a sudden it falls apart. I can tell that there's a window here. You can also see that there's some rendering of some brick here, and I'm kind of curious what his room actually, like, this is Dr. Ryan's bedroom right here. He drew his bedroom. So on my Discord server, I went ahead and shared an image of my bedroom, my office, where I go about making my YouTube videos, basically. A very similar sort of image. So what I do with this is, I use it to offer up a critique. So I take his image and I use these edges to this desk or end table, basically, and I decide, okay, well, we can't see the top face of this headboard, so I'm going to assume this is where the horizon line is going to be, and so I continue the edges of this end table until it intersects with the horizon line. And I do the same thing over here, and then we have a 2-point perspective setup going on. Once we have that, I correct his bed. Like, you can see that I've reconstructed how his bed should be laid out. Mathematically, this is correct according to how he made his end table, okay? How he positioned everything with his end table. And so I would like to actually see him tackle this again and see how much he's grown throughout the years, just simply because, I'm fascinated with the growth of new artists. And then you can see me kind of doing the same thing with curvilinear perspective with my illustration of my bedroom right here. You can see I decided that my horizon line is right here because, we can transition from seeing the top face of this on the bookshelf, and then we see the bottom face of this shelf on the bookshelf. So the horizon line needs to be somewhere in between those two. And then I basically continue this line out until it intersects with the horizon line, and then I continue this edge out until it intersects with the horizon line, and that creates my vanishing point right there. And since this is a curvilinear perspective image, I go about showing how you can find your east, west, zenith, and nadir after you found your north vanishing point. And I continue further with the critique to kind of try to get him to understand what it is that he needs in order to illustrate something like that, again, a little bit more accurately in a way that's more intelligible. But I love his artwork. I think he did an excellent job. Now, Tenacious Tan is kind of an interesting character. He knows that he struggles with understanding things like figure drawing, and he knows that he struggles with drawing backgrounds, and he manages to use 3D software in order to create little primitive 3D models that he can pose around and use as a reference, basically. And personally, I have no problem that he's doing this, just as long as he's using it as a means to continue learning. And I feel as though he is doing exactly that. He's using this as a tool to continue his learning process. But the fact that he struggles with variously different things, it doesn't necessarily mean that he should be limited, if that makes sense. Like, he's allowing himself to use whatever tools are necessary in order for him to create the images that he wants to create. He doesn't let a gap in his knowledge prohibit him from illustrating what he wants to illustrate. And some people say it's a crutch, but sometimes a crutch is not so much of a horrible thing, especially if it's, I mean, like drawing from a reference is a crutch. You're learning from it. So, like, I don't see any problem with what Tenacious Tan is doing. Now, Enzio-san, once again, he went ahead and illustrated an excellent image here. I love it. It kind of looks like a kind of like a Lara Croft sort of character. Really action-packed. I don't know what's going on with the zipper being unzipped and emphasis on her lower region here, but I think it's a very well-crafted image. There's a lot of action-packed stuff going on here, and I think I'm a fan of Enzio-san's artwork. I think it's excellent. Once again, this is another Enzio-san illustration, and just look at that. That's stinking awesome. I mean, I don't know why she's so scantily clad, but it's a very well-crafted image, very, very interesting camera angle, and it makes me wonder what else is in that world. Here's this lady that's in very good shape, and, you know, she's got a wand in her hand. She looks like she's got a witch's hat, and she's got these weird-looking squid-like floaty creatures around her. Yeah, it makes me curious about what type of world these characters live in, and I think that's exactly what you would want an image to be like. You want people to feel things like that and think things like that. Okay, hey, you in Tampa. Here, this isn't the image that kind of demonstrates what I'm talking about. He has somewhat of an understanding of anatomy, but the figure drawing, the foreshortening and such like that, he seems to be struggling with it. Like from the forearm to the hand, there's multiple perspectives going on. You can see that, you know, this was a difficult image for him to illustrate. I can appreciate the image for what it is. I think it's great that he's trying to explore foreshortening, and to some degree, he's having a little bit of success with it. I'm willing to say that he's doing a great job, and I applaud anyone who's willing to struggle through trying to figure out how to do foreshortening. I think that's the greatest thing ever. However, you know, this is my Discord server. This is where I myself and others are able to offer up critiques. Okay, and Dr. Ryan, he jumped in on the critique, and I actually had a pretty lengthy critique. But Dr. Ryan, he found this website where you could pose up this 3D model, and you can see that, you know, he tried to pose the 3D model on the website to be in the exact same pose as what Hey You in Tampa illustrated up here. You can see that, but at justsketchme.com, you go open the web app at app.justsketchme.com, and, you know, you're presented with a 3D model. I'm pretty sure you can change the gender of the character. Let's see. It's been a while since I last tinkered with this, but yeah, I mean, it's really not that difficult to change the pose of this character, and it's a free tool on the internet, and you know, it's a subscriber brought this to my attention, that this free tool actually exists, and of course, you know, you can actually create some crazy things going on where it looks like this character's leg is broken and such like that. So you need to be careful with that. Control Z does work. So yeah, if you're looking for a 3D model or something and you don't want to download anything, app.justsketchme.com. This is a good place to go in order to create your own reference. And you know, the thing is I wasn't really all that happy with what it is that Dr. Ryan was doing to pose up this model. So I created my own version that would be a little bit more dynamic and compelling, I felt, and I got 2 different camera angles on it, and really all you need is just like the snipping tool, and you know, you just new, and then you take a screenshot, and ta-da, there you have it. Now you have your reference, that sort of thing. You do that on the website. In order to do that, new, you click and drag. Okay, now you have your reference. You save it somewhere on your computer, and then you plant it inside of your illustration program. great stuff. I'm so glad that Dr. Ryan told us about justsketchme.com. In fact, I think I'm going to pin this message right here. Yeah. Okay. Now, I want to talk about Yaroslav. Now, I hope that I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but, you know, he shared this image on my Discord server, and he keeps saying that he's a garbage artist. But he says that he watched some of my videos, and it compelled him to draw this. I'm thinking, holy cow, that's awesome. Like, if you're drawing pictures like this, you're on the right track. I don't see this as being garbage. I see this as being excellent. I don't know what happened to this elf character's arms, but other than that, I'm looking at the image, and I can't help but say, wow, there's some craftsmanship here. Keep at it. Keep going. Here's another image illustrated by Yaroslav. What I like about his artwork is just that, you know, you can tell that he's trying to figure it out, and to some degree, he definitely does have it figured out. You know, you can see that there's a chain link fence here. You can see that it changes direction, and it's convincing. You can see that there's this wall here. You can see it comes here, and then it changes direction. You can see that. The top faces of these brick here, they could be a little bit better. They can actually go to the vanishing point a little bit better. You know, the right vanishing point a little bit more accurately. But other than that, I really like it. I like this image. I don't know what this is, this blue thing is, but whatever, it's not important. You can tell that she is sitting on the ground next to the wall, okay? Now, things like sitting against, leaning against, somebody holding something, these are things that are deceptively difficult, because like when you just draw a character from a profile view holding something, yes, it's extremely easy, but when you do that in three-dimensional space, it becomes extremely difficult. And so I gotta applaud the craftsmanship of Yaroslav in this image. Great work, and thank you for sharing. Yaroslav. Okay, so forever ago, in the middle of one of my videos, I drew out this thumbnail, and I said, I want to see your guys' illustrations. I had no idea how talented you guys were, by and large. Like, other than a few images that some people have shared on my Discord server, I had no idea how talented you guys were. And so I drew out this thumbnail and said, hey, I want you guys to draw this picture. And then Yaroslav went ahead and did exactly that. And this is what he came out with. And I like it. I think he did a good job. Great job, Yaroslav. You're the only person that did it. At least as of right now, you're the only person that grabbed that thumbnail and actually illustrated an image out of it and shared it with me. Thank you for that. Okay, Tenacious Tan. This is one of the images that he went ahead and created. You can see that it's his cartoon characters giving each other a nice little smoochy smooch, and yeah, well done. This is a character that he's been working on. This blue character, I believe his name is Buzz. I don't know what the girl's name is, but you know, he's working on the comic strip. I've seen a few pages that he's working on, and he's doing a really good job. He even has backgrounds that he's using, like 3D models to help him illustrate the backgrounds and such like that. And here's the thing about that, you know, there's a lot of artists that criticize Tenacious Tan for doing that, but the thing is okay, like years ago, I had a conversation with the artists behind the cartoon animated series Archer, and they told me straight up that they create a 3D model for the environment, and then they just trace the 3D models for the backgrounds, for every single background inside of the Archer cartoon animated series. Okay, now if they can just trace 3D models, then Tenacious Tan can create his 3D models and use them however way that he wants. Okay, I have no problem with that. You know, if you have a gap in your education with your artistic execution, find some way for you to fill in that gap until you can do it all by yourself. Okay, and Tenacious Tan is right on track. I feel like he's doing a good job. Keep at it. And thank you for sharing your artwork. And these are the sorts of relationships that I develop. I know where some of you guys are, like in your development and how you're doing things. I'm always looking forward to how you guys are developing. Here's another image by Enzio-san, and I mean, just freaking look at that. I mean, look at that. That is just nothing but craftsmanship right there. The figure drawing is perfect. The anatomy is perfect. The gesture, where I don't know, it seems like more of a cocky sort of walk for a martial artist sort of character. I don't know. I don't know what the story of this image is, but it's compelling. I like it. I love this image. It's very, very, very compelling. Now, here's an interesting little bit of something. Dr. Ryan, he was sharing some of his studies, okay? So he's got this figure of a martial artist, and then he's got his figure drawing here. And you can see that, you know, the length from basically his groin region to here is much longer from here to here than it is from here to here. This is much shorter. So he goes ahead and he draws it shorter, but then he's wondering, well, why is it coming out looking different? And the reason is because there is no foreshortening in his version. The thigh, the martial artist's thigh right here, it needs to be more like a cylinder like that, okay? And then Tenacious Tan actually offered up his own critique, and he goes ahead and he draws his mannequin out, and he includes step by step. Like, you can see him fleshing it out more and more, and you can see, all right, that's right on the money. Of course, you know, I don't know how helpful that is to Dr. Ryan, but I hope he found, you know, Tenacious Tan's critique and his demonstration helpful. Because, like, this is like having an art book catered just for you. And it's not just me making sure it's like that. My community is making sure it's like that. This is a great environment. And I love this community that I've been able to gather and foster, trying to create a positive environment where everyone is helping each other become better artists. Remember that shape and form video that I made forever ago? Tenacious Tan decided to draw a soda can and demonstrate him drawing, and this is a challenge I offered up to you guys. Draw a smiley face on the side of a round cylinder, and you know, the round side of a cylinder. And so he went ahead and illustrated this, and it's perfect in my point of view. From what I can see, it's perfect. Well done, Tenacious Tan. Now, Art with Omar, he's a very talented artist. He went ahead and illustrated this image right here, and, you know, really, really good craftsmanship going on here. This one, I love this image. He painted this image of this very beautiful woman. Very well done. I'm a very big fan of this particular image specifically that he made. Very well done. And now, of course, this is something that's interesting about my Discord server. Like, Art with Omar, he's got a very painterly sort of style, so he deals a lot more with silhouettes and stuff like that, and fine-tuning the silhouettes to being a painting. I don't do that. I work with line work in order to create a three-dimensional illustration. And so when I run into an artist that, like a new artist that's just joined the community, and they share their artwork, I offer up what critique I have to offer. But I turn to Art with Omar kind of frequently, saying, hey, this person's artwork or art style is very similar to yours. So maybe you have a critique to offer, because he deals with the silhouettes. And so when other people deal with silhouettes a lot more often with their rendering style, yeah, you know, why not turn to somebody who deals with that a lot more than I do? You know, my speciality is in a particular region, and Art with Omar, his speciality went in a different direction. And I think that regardless of which direction we went, we both landed at a destination that is able to create a decent amount of craftsmanship that's admirable. Now, I'm sure you've all seen some of these paintings, like the references to these paintings before. These are somewhat famous photographs on the internet, but you can see that, you know, sometimes an image, no matter how famous it is and how well circulated it is on the internet, how viral it's gotten, regardless, sometimes it's so compelling that it compels you to use it as a reference. And Art with Omar did an excellent job at painting this particular image. Now, of course, I can't share everyone's images and everything, and I can't go through the entire channel, but really quick here, I would like to bring special attention to Vero Nika. She used to be Red Rose Veronica on my Discord server, and she just makes the most interesting sketches and paintings and drawings and such like that. She does an excellent job at, like, she just makes these really compelling images within a short period of time, it seems like. But this is one of the images that I feel like she spent a good deal of time making, and you know, it's not like realism here. This is very stylized, and yet I feel as though, you know, even though it's highly stylized and such like that, it's definitely not something that Picasso would make. I don't admire Picasso, but I look at this and it's like, wow, okay, there's, you know, I know what it is. It's a painting of a girl. There's this awesome gradient here where, you know, the contour of her cheekbone goes, and like, this is a beautiful image. I love this picture. I admire it. I could hang it up on my wall and enjoy it, and things like that. So, Red Rose Veronica, or Veronica, I really love your artwork. I look forward to every time that you draw a bunch of sketches and you just kind of dump them all, you know, kind of like an art dump all over on either the works in progress or inside of the share your work section. I love your artwork. I love seeing you progress further and further. She's got this interesting art style where she wants to get images finished real quick and yet tries to output as best of a quality as she can possibly output while doing it. And I think she does a really good job. Another image by Art with Omar. I think he did a really, really good job here. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's a nice looking alleyway. It's great. I love it. I love it. I want to share this image. Art with Omar, he went ahead and painted this image as well. Kind of a bustling sort of city going on. You know, the colors are really vibrant. And as I scroll down, you can see, like, you know, there's all these advertisements all over the place. He's got these people. He's got bicycles in the environment. And as I zoom out, you can see it all in a glance. And it looks good. It's great. Yeah. I have an excellent pool of talent inside of my Discord server. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead quite a bit and just kind of show off one particular artist's artwork that I don't want to leave out, okay? Oh, wait, 1 second here. Here's another image by Veronica. Look at this image. It's so cool. Like, this is when I was illustrating a bunch of landscapes and such like that, and then Veronica, she went ahead and illustrated this landscape, and she's got these little demon characters, and it looks like they've cast these spells on these little tiny creatures as if they've brainwashed and are controlling these little characters. And I've seen a number of her images where some of these little brainwashed characters that reappear in other images that she's made, and it makes me feel like she's constructed a world, and I would love to see this in a children's book, like the style. I mean, it's definitely a different style than Dr. Seuss, but if Dr. Seuss could get away with half the crap he did, Veronica, she can go ahead and get away with whatever she wants with this artistic style. I think she's doing a great job. But let me go ahead and skip ahead and find that particular artist that I'm looking for. Okay, here it is. His name is Superspurg. Okay, that's what he goes by. And he was only on my Discord server for a short period of time. You know, anywhere you have a large group of people getting together and talking, everyone's going to have their own, especially about artwork. Everyone's got a different perspective on what artwork is, what it is to them, and everything like that. And sometimes people just won't agree on any of that. Even if two talented people are in the same room, they could both have two very different philosophies towards artwork, disagree with each other, hate each other because they disagree with each other. They can still recognize each other's talents and skills, but then, you know, the disagreement winds up being so bad that one of them winds up leaving. And Superspurg is kind of one of those people, and it's really unfortunate that he left because I love his artwork. Look at that. He's got this character that's kind of like Spawn. Yeah, it's just really cool. And then he got into 3D modeling, and he created like something that's kind of like the Batmobile sort of thing. That looks cool. And then you can see where he's learned from my perspective tutorials, and I love it. This is more like an isometric view, it looks like. I never taught isometric views, but even still, it's very well crafted. I love it. And you know, here's another version of his comic book character, and you know, it's inspired by like Todd McFarlane. It's inspired by like anime, manga, things like that. And look at his text, you know, his logo for his comic book, Necro. It looks like Metallica to some extent, the style of it. I love it.
Necro X.
It looks awesome. He shared other pieces of artwork. You can see how he's created these interesting looking characters, and he's trying to implement like anatomy around this. And that's where some of the hot water came in with you know, critiques and stuff. And I think that's unfortunate because I love this picture. You know, creating an interesting looking stylized character. You know, it's only a matter of time until he nails down the proper anatomy for all of this. But you know, you look at the picture and you know what it is, and as long as you know what it is, that's all that really truly matters. This isn't as good as some of his other pictures, but I still really like it. It's very imaginative. You know, here's this six-armed looking creature with a much bigger upper torso than his legs. His legs are kind of small, but it looks like at least two of his arms kind of compensate for the extra weight, you know, the top heaviness. I really like this. This is pretty cool. And Super Spurg went ahead and illustrated this as well. What a creative image. I don't know if he drew from something or if this is 100% his creation or if it's like a composite of different ideas, but I look at it and it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah. Chainsaws for forearms. That's kind of cool. This one's a little bit more abstract, but you know, I do like I like the image in general. I mean, it's interesting. It does kind of guide the eye around, and there is enough craftsmanship inside of the image to keep the eye looking at it for a while. I don't know why this disembodied head is here. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a dead woman or anything, but you know, sometimes you just draw things and it's like a stream of consciousness. You're just drawing variously different things just really quickly, and sometimes it's really rewarding as it comes along, even though it doesn't make 100% sense. And I like the image. I think he did a good job. Now, this is probably my favorite image by Super Spurg. You can see there's a lot of foreshortening going on, and this is something that a lot of artists struggle with. He's got foreshortening. There are parts where it looks like, you know, he went more for like a painterly style, like on the skull here. It looks almost painterly, but then the whole rest of the image pretty much has kind of a comic book style, as if it's been inked. And you know, that's a little bit weird, but other than that, I mean, I can see how he could continue coloring this image and making it more and more compelling as time develops. Like one thing that I would like to see is where, you know, he's got all this chain stuff going on. It would be kind of interesting to see this stuff grow a little bit bigger to kind of over exaggerate the amount of foreshortening going on. But really well done. Really well done. Super Spurg is greatly missed on my Discord server. Very, very grateful that he stopped by on my Discord server to share some of his artwork, and I feel that way towards everyone who's jumped onto my Discord server and deposited some artwork, offered up critiques, received critiques, and you know, people who have tried to receive the critiques without taking it personally and such like that. I really wanted to make this video about you guys, and this is all about you. My YouTube channel and such like that. Here's some more art with Omar. I mean, look at that cave. And if I am an inspiration to you guys, I want you guys to know that you are just as much as I might possibly be an inspiration for you guys. You are an inspiration to me, my audience. I'm so grateful that I don't know how to say it, to be honest. I set out to have a very specific audience. I had a very specific target in mind, and knowing me, how I struggle with social interaction and such like that, I was thinking I'm probably going to miss the mark completely. I'm going to wind up with a really toxic audience. And I can't tell you guys how grateful I am that you guys are such an uplifting, helpful voice, not only with my artwork, but with my life and towards each other and each other's artwork. Thank you for allowing me to reach 5,500 subscribers. You guys are the inspiration. And with that, I'm going to say adieu. Anyways, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys would like to get more notifications from me, feel free to join my Discord server. A link to my Discord server is in the video description below. And if you'd like to support this channel, there's an image of a t-shirt in the upper right corner of the screen. It leads to my Teespring. Any support with the purchase of a t-shirt would be much appreciated. And if you've enjoyed this content and would like to see more, feel free to click on anything else that's appearing on the screen right now. Thank you very much for your time.